Now, I'm guessing you're here to 100% your world. Maybe you're just about to start exploring, or maybe you're stuck on 99%, wondering what went wrong. So today I bring you every single thing you need to know. Most of these I learnt the hard way, and I would have loved a video like this before starting. So, before exploring, you need to complete a few prerequisites. Not all of these are 100% necessary, but I promise will make your life easier if you actually do them. The most important of them all is quests, especially the main story quest. The reason is to unlock two areas. The Northall Barrens at the very top of the map, and also the Mount Firmament area at the very bottom. You can unlock both at Union level 21 after completing Chapter 1 Act 6 and Chapter 1 Act 7 respectively. Other than the main story quests, side quests are also needed for some parts. I'll talk more about this later on though. So then the only other prerequisite I have is to get the loot mapper. You can unlock it from this lady in Jinzhou City. All you need to do is get to Pioneer level 1, and you can get that by exploring. If you can't unlock it yet, just come back every now and then until you have enough for level 1. Oh, and a quick bonus, if you haven't already unlocked the map, I don't know what you're doing. Go find the big towers and unlock the areas. Now, onto the actual strategy to use. And this can vary quite a lot, as people have very different ways they like to explore. For the purist explorers, as long as you have the loot mapper, you should be able to run around and find everything. For the most part, the loot mapper doesn't show every single thing though, and the Sonus caskets and wind chimes will pop up on your little minimap when you're close, so you can see it there, or you can just use the Sonic casket gadget, unlocked at Pioneer level 3. My personal strategy, however, is just using a combo of both the loot mapper and an interactive map. I've linked the one I recommend below. You just gotta cross off stuff as you get it and just keep on moving. Easy enough. And the final strategy is following a YouTube guide. You can find a guide for an area and just follow along with it. Bonus little tip for you, you can bind pause to either your mouse or your keyboard so that you don't have to keep switching tabs. Now, what will actually count towards that 100% on my screen? Is it just going to be the chests, or what do I need to actually be getting? Of course, chests is the first one, along with title heritages, which are basically just defeating enemies and then you claim it. You also need to collect Sonus caskets, or wind chimes as they're called in the Mount Firmament area. They are basically the oculi of this game. You also need to get bobflies, which you have to snipe from far away. If you get too close, it'll disappear and you'll have to come back. And for the Mount Firmament version, it is the frost bugs. For these, you just have to shoot them from behind. Another thing you need to do is butterflies. They are basically the equivalent of a Genshin Sealy. You also need to defeat every challenge, both shooting challenges and also other miscellaneous ones. For example, the Hero of the Leap challenge. There's also a backflip challenge you can get in Jinzhou City. Most of them are marked on the interactive map though, but just remember that some you can get multiple chests from. So the final two things counting towards that 100% are ones you might not expect. The first is viewpoints. They actually give quite a large amount of percent, so make sure you're getting all of them. And the second is what I mentioned before, quests. Quests don't actually give percent, but some of them have chests at the very end which do count towards that 100%, especially your companion quests, so make sure you're doing all of them. Oh, and as a bonus, the inspectable boxes here, they don't actually count towards your 100%. However, they do count towards your chest collecting achievement. So if you're looking to grind achievements, you may as well just get them on the way. Alright, I have a couple of tips here that you absolutely need to know. These will probably make your life 10 times easier when exploring. First, if you go to your map and click this button in the bottom right, it shows your current count for all exploration related items. So you can easily see what you're missing to get that last few percent. Next, some regions have some very weird outlines. And by that I mean where they actually start and end. Take this for example. This part in here actually counts towards this part on the map. What happens is you get to like 75% and then you're like, where is my last 25%? I've given you a rough map here of where about the regions end, but you can also check the bottom right for the region that you're currently in. Also, unlike in Genshin, most regions are very hard to 100%. You need maybe 95% or even more of everything to actually get 100% on your map. So don't really be skipping out on chests if you can avoid it. Another tip is if you press your escape button and click here, you can actually lower your world level. You probably already know this, but it's very helpful for early game when your builds aren't looking too strong. Tip number 5. If you see enemies with red aura, just run away. They are gonna fuck you up. So don't even bother trying to mess with them. And the final tip I have is about underground areas. Mount Firmament actually has an underground map, but Jinzhou we don't. So again, I've roughly marked where the underground areas are and how to enter, but you can search it up if you need more help. I would also recommend to work on only one level at a time, and then switch to above ground or underground after. Okay, so it's all gone wrong. You've missed something and are stuck at 99%. What should you do? The first thing you should do is check your percent page to see if there's anything missing in there. That'll help you narrow it down a little bit. Although sometimes it might say that everything's 100%, even though you're not done. So after that, you should complete quests. They could have that final chest at the end that you're looking for, so make sure you do all of them. Also have a look into both Hero of the Leap challenge and also the backflip challenge. They are common things you might have only got 5 out of the 6 chests for, so make sure to do them all again. I also mentioned this before, but check viewpoints. They might give you about 5%. There was also an issue at the start of the game where you could only get a chest from doing the main story quest, and after you did it, you couldn't go back and get it. So some people were stuck in 99% at the very top here, so you might have to just settle for that. Next, just search the part you're struggling on in Google, chuck a Reddit behind that and see what other people are saying. If none of these works though, your final option is going to be run around and spam the loot mapper. And you want to double check all the areas. Not a fun one. Anyways, that's pretty much everything. Go and check the comments as well for extra help. I'll also pin a comment if I missed anything huge, but good luck on your journey, fellow explorers.